The natural world is surprisingly harmonious. Everyone lives in it, taking their place of honor in the food chain. Yes, animals are not humane when it comes to food. They just take what's rightfully theirs, by the right given to them by Mother Nature. But this does not prevent them from coexisting together, sharing one territory together, using the gifts that generous nature has prepared for them, and everything in this world is balanced and interconnected, until a person invades it. It is a person who takes much more from the natural world than they need. It is a person who breaks this food chain, very often exterminating entire animal species. Of course, not all people do such things, but even a small part can cause significant damage to the natural system of interaction. It just so happens that some people harm nature without thinking about the consequences, while others try to correct their mistakes in order to restore balance in the world. This is the eternal interaction of kindness and evil, good and bad. And if one person has the opportunity to help, then the world really does become a little better. This story, which happened in one picturesque place near a very fast and stormy river in eastern Siberia, tells just about the collisions of actions of good and evil people, as a result of which a miracle happened. This happened in early spring when the river was still raging with all its might, having become free from the winter oppression. Its waters are actively replenished with melting snow and truly became a raging element. A resident of a nearby village went fishing. There were lots of fish in that river, and the locals often caught them for food. The man was fishing with a line. On that day, he decided not to take a boat, but to go fly fishing, especially since the speed of the river was so high. There were many different kinds of fish in that river, but he hoped to catch a specific type of fish. It would be a very wonderful catch. For the place of his camp, the man chose a fairly open bank with a slope to the river, almost without trees or bushes. The whole area was clearly visible for many tens of meters in all directions. Here, it was possible to sit comfortably on a folding chair to rest, and it was also convenient to enter the water in order to throw a fishing rod deeper. Having settled, he began to feed the fish. He did it slowly, knowing that the better he fed the fish at the beginning, the faster the catch would go. Deciding that the bait was suitable, the man swung his fishing rod and threw the line as far as possible. He caught the first fish within several minutes. It turned out to be a rather large trout. The man was delighted and continued doing the same. And for about 10 minutes, a rather large, weighty grayling and a couple of trout were splashing in his bucket. What a nice catch today. It's just great. He was sincerely happy. He became so carried away by the fishing process that he threw caution to the wind and stopped monitoring the territory around him. This was quite a dangerous place. It was a forest around him. When the man once again pulled his fishing rod with new prey on it, he heard a rustle behind his back. Chilled in fright, the man turned and saw a little bear cub a meter away who apparently came out of the forest to smell the freshly caught fish. And now he was standing next to the man and looking with very hungry eyes at his catch. The local resident knew that where a bear cub was, there must also be a mother bear. So he hurried to treat the baby with some of his fish so that he would not stick around. The bear cub grabbed the grayling handed to him and started eating it greedily. But he did not eat all the fish. He took the remains of the fish into his little mouth and headed into the forest at a brisk pace. The man, making sure that the bear was gone, continued fishing. After a while, the catch near the shore stopped, and the man realized that the fish must have simply moved to the middle of the river. So the man put on his waders and went deeper into the river to throw the fishing line again. This time things went even faster, and 3 fresh fish splashed in his bucket in half an hour. He was standing in the middle of the river with his fishing rod, keen on fishing, and did not notice that someone was approaching him from behind. When he realized that he was not alone, he looked back and was sincerely surprised by what he saw. Right next to him, waist deep in the water, was that same bear cub. Without moving, He watched the man catch the fish and did not take his eyes off the line. When the eyes of the man and the beast finally met, the bear looked at the man so pitifully that the latter realized how hungry the poor little baby must be that he fearlessly went out to a person and was very close to him. The bear cub was standing next to the man while he was fishing in the middle of the river. He eagerly watched each new fish go into the bucket. When the man had caught enough fish, he went to shore. The bear cub also went to shore and looked pitifully at the man. The man took pity on the animal and gave him a couple more caught fish. The bear quickly grabbed them, but he did not eat them. He carried them deep into the forest. The man was extremely surprised by the atypical behavior of the little bear and decided to carefully follow him, trying to understand what made him first come so close to a person and second, not eat the prey immediately received but carry it into the forest. He was very interested in where the bear took the fish. Keeping at a safe distance, he followed after the bear. At first, he ran along the well-trodden path, constantly dropping the slippery fish and picking it back up again. But then, he turned into an impenetrable thicket. The man tried going quietly behind the animal so as not to frighten him. When the bear disappeared into the dense thicket of bushes, the man pushed aside the large branches with a slight movement and saw a large clearing ahead, which was hidden from the eyes by thick trees. What the man saw in the clearing amazed him to the depths of his soul. A bear was lying right in the middle of last year's dry grass. She was lying on her side, breathing very hard. Seeing the man, she made a pitiful attempt to raise her paw, but it was unsuccessful. The man realized that the bear was in very bad condition and perhaps would not even be able to survive today. Judging by the red spots leading to her body, the man guessed that she was most likely wounded by poachers, but she managed to escape from them. Now, she was living out her last days here in the clearing, hidden from prying eyes, and only her little bear cub tried helping her live at least a little longer by bringing her these 2.5 fish that he managed to get from a man. The man realized that he had to help the poor animal no matter what the cost. Without hesitation, he rushed back to the river, grabbed all of his day's catch, and rushed back into the thicket. At that moment, he did not think about what he would feed his family today. All his thoughts were occupied only by the bear, lying alone on the grass, and the small, fearless bear cub who tried to save his mother in every possible way. The man, returning to the bear, did not come too close, and he put all the fish from the bucket a couple of meters from her head. He hoped that the smell of the fresh fish would help the bear get up and take just a couple of steps to get food. The man no longer disturbed the animal, but hastened to return to his village as soon as possible to inform the regional department of the hunting industry about his discovery in the forest. Help went to the bear on the same day, and she was rescued. Who knows what the story could have turned out to be if our hero did not go fishing that day or chosen another place to fish. But to the great happiness of the bear, that day the right person was next to her and her cub. Through his actions, he saved 2 lives, thereby showing the beast that not all people are evil or cruel. What do you think? Is there a place in our lives for such a miracle? Have there been any incidents in your life when human intervention in the animal world was capable of not only destroying, but also creating? Share your thoughts in the comments.